So we're now on the top of Daf Heyam and Beis. V'haini diyomer Abulazim b'nei ma'itz v'osef shalodem domos li'seidos. Why is it that our fingers sort of come to a round point? My timer, mishum demechalkon. If it's because they are separated one finger then from the other, so then why does Rabbi Lazar ask the following question? Lama nivru came, and the answer is very poshut. Each finger has its own function and its own purpose. Right, that's the pinky, and that's what they use for midas hachoshen. And then we have zokmitza, and that's the finger that's next to the pinky. And so Amma, this is the long finger in the middle, which we need for Binyan HaMishkan, the Kelav. Zu Etzba, each one is a different shear. The Etzba is Hasmucha Li'ama, right? That's what we call the pointer. And Zu Godel, then we have the thumb. So you can't say that Rabbi Lazar was asking why the fingers separated one from the other. That doesn't make any sense. Each finger has its own function. Ella matam mishupos, you say those. The question that he was addressing was, why did the fingers come to like a point? And the answer is, he should put his fingers into his ear. Now we're going to talk about earlobes. Rabbi Yishmael, mipnei ma ozen kula kosher va'alya raka. All the other fingers are very Nachamon. Let's go over it one more time. Tanid be Rabbi Yishmael mipnei ma ozen kula kosher va'alya raka. Right, the earlobe is soft. He can take his lobes and press it into his ear, the opening of his ear, and he won't be able to hear these bad things. So why is the earlobe soft? And the answer is nichvos hilo le'ivarin. What does that mean? He says here in the Masechet Mashal, who kishem shebasar ozen kal lichavos yoser misharei varim. Came chush hashmiya sheba ozen alul hu lagia bekal lidei iser yoser mishar chushe adam. He says the ear is vulnerable to flame, to getting burned. And the nimshal is that the power of hearing in the ear is always vulnerable to listening to things that you're not allowed to be listening to. Okay, now we start the famous, this is one of the most famous sugyas in Shas. Iboilahu, Mao livol betchila b'Shabbos. Would he be violating the Shabbos if he had his first be'ilah on Shabbos? And that takes out the dam besula. So the Gemara first says it depends on whether dam mifkid pocket or tibure mechber. Mifkid pocket means it's collected. It's not part of the circulatory system. It's collected in some sort of a membrane, and therefore it's not at all similar to moleches chabura. Because moleches chabura means when you knock the blood out of the circulatory system. That's called tibure mechber. So the blood is not it's not collected in that membrane, but rather it is balua bedofnei rechem. It's actually blood that's absorbed into the walls of the uterus. And with his be'ilah, he makes a chabura, and he opens up some of the dofen of the rechem, and that's where the blood comes out. And that's also b'Shabbos. Ve'imtim tzalom dam mifked pokid. So therefore, there's no meleches chabura because the blood is collected in the membrane. It's not part of the circulatory system. We still have another problem. Even if I grant you that's mifked pocket, and that's meleches bona, l'damu tzarich, all he needs now is to take out the dam to prove that she's a basula. B'shari, that's mutter. O dilma lefetach utzarich bi asur. So he writes here based on Rashi mishum bona. Rashi adds something here. Let me just see if I can find the Rashi. So mifkid pakid, Rashi says, "Ein bo mishum chabura." Odil lepetach mitzam hareu kibona v'yos. So where's the Rashi about vayimen esatzela? Just 1 second. Okay, maybe we'll see that later on. So now at this point in the discussion of the Gemara, we have two issues. We have a leches chabura if you hold mechbar, chibure mechbar, and even if I hold mifkid pocket and that solves the problem of chibure mechbar, we still have another malacha to grapple with, and that's maleches binyan. If we assume lepetach utzar. Now, I think lepetach utzar is a t'nai in davar miskaven. He has to have kavana to make an opening, a pesach, a bona. And I assume that what that means is that he'll be able to henceforth be boel with a natural and comfortable pesach there. So that's his kavan. He wants to make a pesach. If you hold a damu tzarech and he's not interested in the pesach, then it's a davar she'eino miskam. The imtim tzalom l'damu tzarech u pesach memela ka'asi. So therefore, what's going to happen here? He's not miskaving to make a Pesach. He's miskaving to meleches chabura on the tzad that dam is michbar chibura. So now the question is, halacha k'Reb Shimon diyomer davar she'en miskavin mutar, or halacha k'Reb Yehuda davar she'en miskavin osur. So even though he's not interested in making a Pesach, but according to Rabbi Yehuda, who holds davar she'en miskavin is osur, it still is osur. The imtim tzaloma halacha k'Reb Yehuda. And therefore, davar she'en miskavin is osur. I still have a suffix. Mekalkel hu eitzal Pesach or mesakin hu eitzal Pesach. Meaning, how do we look at the Pesach? Objectively or subjectively? If we look at it from an objective point of view, then a basula is more desirable than a ba'ula. And therefore, even if he's making a Pesach, that's a kilkul for her. Mekalkel is potter. I'm just a little confused, even though Mekalkel is potter, but it's us. Maybe because we're only dealing with the Durabanon. So if you have a Durabanon plus Mekalkel, maybe it's Mutul Lechatchila. In any event, the other side in the Gemara's suffix is that subjectively he wants a Pesach. And if he's miskaving to a Pesach, then he's miskaving to Meleches Bona. But you know what? I think we have to change one point here. The Gemara's language is Mesakin hu eitel Pesach. And in my translation, he says that this is going according to Rabbi Yehuda. Now, why is this going according to Rabbi Yehuda? Why do we have to introduce Rabbi Yehuda here? Do you have any notes on that by any chance, Rabbi? Why are we introducing Rabbi Yehuda? If it's miskavin to Pesach, he's miskavin to make a Pesach. L'tzorch bilos hacheros, and he's b'chayev mishum meleches bona even according to Reb Shimon. I don't know why you're quoting Rabbi Yehuda here. What am I missing? Let's see Rashi. Where's the Rashi? So the only thing I could say here is, and I'm not happy with it, is that the Gemara is still assuming that he's not miskaven to make a Pesach. What the Gemara means misakin to Pesach is despite the fact that he doesn't have kavana, but according to Rabbi Yehuda Yechayev for davar she'ein miskaven, as long as it's not a makalkel and as long as it's a tikkun, and once it's a tikkun, according to Rabbi Yehuda Yechayev, even the davar she'ein miskaven. That's the best I can do. Now we have a second Lishna. Until now, we've been assuming Mifkid Pocket. Now we're going to assume Chiburei Mechbara. So he's removing the blood from the circulatory system. He's making a Chabura. And now we're stopping the Dam Hu Tzarech. Does he want to see the Dam to make sure she's a Basula, the Asur? And therefore he's having Kavana for Otzas Dam. He needs the Otzas Dam. Odil Malanos Atzma Hu Tzarech V'Shari. He doesn't have Kavana for Otzas Dam. Like he trusts that she's a Basula, I guess. And now we're going to call it a davar she'ein miskaven into tzlomanos atzmu tzavadam emelukos halach Rabbi Yehuda or halach Rabbi Shimon. Do we pass in davar she'ein miskaven is asur or davar she'ein miskaven is mutter? Imtim tzlov halach Rabbi Yehuda. Even if I grant you that davar she'ein miskaven is asur, so that despite the fact that lanos atzmo tzarich, I still could come up with an isur. No. I still could come up with a heter. So again, we're going to Rabbi Yehuda davar she'ein miskaven. He doesn't have kavana to be motzi dam. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, who cares? Even if davar she'ein miskaven is asur. So now we're going to try to say that even Rabbi Yehuda, who says that davar she'ein miskaven is asur, could be moda that here it's mutter. Why? Because mekalkel bechabura. According to one side, he's being mekalkel bechabura. Why? Because she was a basula. Now without the dam basula, she's a ba'ula. So she's gone down a level. And therefore, even according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's mutter, because Rabbi Yehuda says davar she'ein miskaven is also, but only if it's a meleches tikkun, not if it's a meleches mekalkel. Oh, what should we say? Misakin bechabura. Again, not that he's miskaven to get the dam out, but it's called a tikkun. And again, why is it called a tikkun? Because as a result of taking out the dam, he can know whether she's a basula or not. The imtim tzalom mekalkel bechaburahu. Now it should be matter, even according to Rabbi Yehuda, if he's not miskaven to be motzi dam, but nevertheless it's mekalkel. The mekalkel halacha Rabbi Yehuda or ein halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Elok Rabbi Shimon. Now Rabbi Shimon is the one who's going to say that mekalkel bechabur is chayav. So therefore, it's also livel besula b'Shabbos, even though Reb Shimon holds it's a davar she'ein miskaven, and it should be mutter. Nevertheless, we're going to pass like Rabbi Yehuda that davar she'ein miskaven is also. And as far as Mekalkel B'Chabura is concerned, I'm going to pass him like Rabbi Shimon, and he's chayev. Let's go over the last Gemara one more time. Mekalkel B'Chabura, the Mekalkel Alochik Rabbi Yehuda holds that even in Chabura the tour of Mekalkel applies, like it does in all all malachas, and therefore even if Davar Shenim is coming is also here, it's going to be mutter to be l'rishona because of Mekalkel. But if we accept Rabbi Shimon that Mekalkel B'Chabura, meaning Meleches Chabura, separates itself and stands out Amud Vada Yishkon from all the other malachas, and the Mekalkel is chayev, that's Rabbi Shimon's shita, then here it's going to be asur, even though it's Mekalkel, and even though it's name is Kavim, we're holding like Rabbi Yehuda, but even though it's Mekalkel, in the case of Otzah Stam B'Chabura, we're going to pass it like Rabbi Shimon, that he's chayev. And the reason why Rabbi Shimon holds is no p'tur of Mekalkel in Meleches Chabura is because that's the nature of the Malacha. The Malacha is a Meleches Siluk. You know, the Malacha is to remove chiyus, netilas neshama. So the concept of Mekalkel is totally irrelevant. Okay then, so I wish you a great Shabbos and thank you so much. And in Mirza Hashem, we'll try over Shabbos to learn Daf Vav, and maybe on Sunday we'll already be up to Daf Zayin, which will give us a little bit of a head start in this Masechet. We'll see.